Hey folks, Brian here again. RPG Day 2018, day number 15. Describe a tricky experience you had. I keep forgetting what the question is. Yeah, that you enjoyed. Okay. Tricky RPG experience that you enjoyed. There we go. Okay, so um, I've got a buddy, Bruce, who lives on the West Coast, and um, we had connected, I guess, via Facebook sometime recently, and he's got a group out there he's playing with. And he was looking for some more experienced input for the players to help them come around to playing different ways and that kind of thing. And so he asked me to Skype into his game. So I've been Skyping into his game for a while. And he uses BRP, the basic role-playing system, the Chaosium engine, using specifically the RuneQuest 3, the Avalon Hill version. And apparently this party had been in a medieval fantasy setting, but something happened to them, and they ended up being doppelgangers in a science fiction campaign. And that's actually where I came in. They'd already been in the science fiction campaign, so I rolled a science fiction guy. And Bruce uses space opera as his setting rules. So we're in the horseshoe crab, or the crab, yeah, the horseshoe crab nebula, something like that. And all the weapons and all the skills and stuff like that are out of space opera. So they're very detailed, very in depth, and wide ranging. But my guy was an archaeologist. He was a professor doing some archaeology digs for a mega corporation. And we came in on this planet we were investigating. Something happens to our ship. I'm in cryo suspension when the rest of the party finds my ship, finds me, and then that's how we get together, start doing stuff. Well, after all this occurred, and we get back to their mega corporation, which was not my mega corporation, find out that I was in fact declared dead, missing, presumed dead, something like that, and it had been some time, and so this new mega corporation ginned up some fake identity papers for me, established an account, and all stuff to help me out as long as I'm willing to work for them. And say, hey, if I can still keep doing my archaeology stuff, no problem. Now my guy, his character concept, his background, whatever you call it, he did two tours in the Marine Corps, got out, went to college, that kind of thing, or Imperial Marines, and so he had some combat skills. And I missed a couple of sessions because sometimes our schedules just don't hook up. But after we got back, everything got debriefed and all this other stuff going on. This mega corporation has a space lines company, and there have been these piracy attacks going on. And so they want us to go undercover inside one of their ships and see if we can't uncover something about these piracy attacks. Well, sure enough, our ship gets attacked. We had bugged the comm systems in the ship to try and passively receive any communications go back and forth so we could help track down what's going on, who's on the inside, who's on the outside, kind of thing. But all that goes down. The pirates do attack. The pirates end up stealing a bunch of stuff. Don't recall if they took hostages or not. But previously they had as well. They would ransom back these hostages. We get to the planet. This guy comes in. Well, we're held under not arrest, but we're detained. There we go. And this guy comes in saying he represents the company and wants to know what we were doing on the ship. And we were told that the folks on the receiving end of the ship were already wired ahead of what we were doing and who we were and what was going on. So we're all suspicious of this. And he We don't tell him anything. He says, well, if you do work for the company, then you already know who we are and what we were doing on the ship. And he gets all snippety at us, makes some threats, and then takes off. A little bit while later, another guy comes in. I want to say Mousy or Measly Mouse, but he was, he's an accountant, maybe a lawyer, that kind of guy. He comes in, he says, what are these guys doing in these jumpsuits? Get them close, take them back, get their stuff. Let's get them out of here. Hey guys, I've already taken care of all the paperwork and stuff. Let's go. And so he takes us out. We explained to him who we saw and what this guy was, and he had used a name. I don't remember now what it was. But there was somebody else on the ship that somebody had recognized as well, that apparently had ambushed one of the pirates, took the pirate stuff, and then took off in the pirate ship with the pirates. We think he's like an independent spy kind of thing, doing his own deal, or working for somebody else, a third party kind of deal. But we get back, we do our debrief, all this stuff, and so we start, and this is the interesting part. We start thinking, how do we figure this stuff out? And this guy's name had come up. We got video of him leaving the planet. The guy who came to investigate us while we were detained. Got pictures of him leaving the planet. Got his name, checked his name against the roster, and the flight manifest leaving the planet was different than the flight manifest landing by 2 names. One of which was this guy's name. So I and one of the other guys, after everybody has a chance to cool off and relax, we head across the street to the corporation's headquarters locally, and we get on their computer system. I start pulling down the roster manifests from all the flights that were hit by pirates, boarding manifests and embarking and debarking manifests. And I think I rolled a crit, or at least rolled a special. I did really well on that roll. And so we're looking for names that don't match. Sure enough, every single flight, there are 2 guys that should not have been on the flight that got off of the flight. And this was consistent through all the piracy things. We also did some investigation on some of the cargo that's taken, which cargo was never, ransomed back. And there's a tie-in there with museums, because the piece that was missing from this flight was going to a museum here. So a bunch of guys were thinking, Forerunner technology kind of stuff. But it was really cool, because I'm trying to figure out, track down who these 2 guys are. Did they use the same names every time? They were different names every time, and I don't think we had any video from the other flights. Trying to get video of people coming off, people coming on the ship, kind of thing, to find out what's going on. So it was really cool. Kind of figured out when the pirates land, they plant 2 guys who do something, come off the ship as if they were passengers, and then doing something. We're trying to tie this all together. I thought it was really cool. I really enjoyed that, trying to figure that out, piece it all together, and having these roles actually support my theories. We did eventually go to the company, found out where the pirate ship went, and there was an asteroid pirate base. We went to that pirate base and confiscated some stuff and freed some prisoners and destroyed a bunch of things. But that was one of my, at least recently, interesting RPGs I really enjoyed, was all this investigation thing and working stuff out. I'm normally not a player puzzles guy, but that one I really liked. How about you? Where's my mouse?